starters. One out of a million will reach those heights. Always had a feeling that I won't deny that work. Never could toss. Look in my eyes, I'm on the rise. A couple milli now, I'm causing a commotion. I've been coasting, hear my name around the world like an explosion.
So rise up, rise up. We are the apocalypse, and a pill that keeps us floating. As we fly above the stars, the night won't scare us falling. So rise up. We're too great to be landed. Rise up. We're too great to be standing.
They never gonna stop us, flying by them like choppers. Better tuck those risks, hold one of my fists, we fire starters. Let's go. One out of a million will reach those heights. Always had a feeling that I won't deny that work. Never could toss. Look in my eyes, I'm on the rise.
my direction. So thankful for that, it's such a blessing, yeah. Turn every situation into heaven, yeah. Oh, you are my sunrise on the darkest day. Got me feeling some kind of way. Make me wanna savor every moment slowly. You feel me telling me like how you put it on. Got the only key to how to turn it on. The way you nibble on my ear, the only words I wanna hear. Baby, take it slow so we can last on. Tú eres el imán y yo soy el metal. Me voy acercando, voy armando el plan. Solo con besarlo se acelera el pulso. Oh yeah, ya me está gustando más de lo normal. Todos mis sentidos van pidiendo más. Esto que te malo sin ningún apuro. Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudar tus huesos despacito. Firma las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito. Quiero ver bailar tu pelo, quiero ser tu ritmo. ¿Qué le enseñas a mi boca? Tus lugares favoritos. Y déjame sobrepasar tus zonas de peligro, hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu habido. Si te pido un beso, vendámelo. Yo sé que estás pensando, llevo tiempo intentándolo. Mami está gritando, sabe que está corazón con mi tía así. Sabe que esa bebé está buscando de mi bamba. Prueba de mi boca para ver cómo te sabe. Quiero que veas con tu amor a ti te cabe. Yo no tengo prisa, yo me quiero dar el viaje. Empezamos lento, después salvaje. Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Cuando tú me besas con esta destreza, deja de malicia con delicadeza. Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Y es que esa belleza es un rompecabezas, pero para montarlo aquí tengo la pieza. Oh yeah. Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudar tus huesos despacito. Firma las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito. Quiero ver bailar tu pelo, quiero ser tu ritmo. ¿Qué le enseñas a mi boca? Tus lugares favoritos. Déjame sobrepasar tus zonas de peligro, hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu amigo. Despacito, this is how we do it down in Puerto Rico. I just wanna hear you screaming ay bendito. I can move forever cuando estás contigo. Pasito a pasito, suave suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. ¿Quieres enseñas a mi boca tus lugares favoritos? Pasito a pasito, suave suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito, hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido.
Struck.
I got darkness in my head. Don't believe a word you said. Still I'll let you in my bed, my bed, my bed. Got too many different sides. Got designer in your eyes. Something has to change tonight, tonight.
If you're really being honest, if you really want this, whoa, why you acting like a stranger? What's with your behavior? Whoa, say my name, say my name. If you love me, let me hear you. Say my name, say my name. I am dying to believe you. I feel alone in your arms. I feel you breaking my heart. Say my name, say my name. If you love me, let me hear you.
Ascultă-mă, frate, Emil vine. N-am să urc pe tot cu tine. În primul rând mă doare tare spatele și n-o să prind mișcările tale.
Iau-o doar pe șoarec și arunc-o peste cap, exact ca Petrișorul cu Bălan Andreea. Două versuri, trei mișcări viralului garantat. Te rog să spui la toată lumea că am încercat. Ca o focă tristă așa arăta, pe tocuri să dansez mangea. Pune-mă să fac altceva, să nu mă râdă toată țara. Ca o focă tristă așa arăta, pe tocuri să dansez mangea. Pune-mă să fac altceva, să nu mă râdă toată țara.
Hai mă spic că mi-ai alergit pantofii degeaba.
Hola, yo me llamo Mariola. Boy, I see you staring. You watching every move. I can see the rain falling as I'm coming up to you. We can have a thing just to start a night, and I can make you want me another night. Boy, I see you staring. You watching every move, watching every move. Hola, yo me llamo Mariola. Ven aquí, acércate sin miedo que estoy sola. Hola, yo me llamo Mariola. Acércate sin miedo, ven aquí porque estoy sola. Hola, yo me llamo Mariola. Ven aquí, acércate sin miedo que estoy sola. Hola, yo me llamo Mariola. Acércate sin miedo, ven aquí porque estoy sola. I know what to say, how to get my way, I know what it takes. Come and make me tap out and retire. Tell me how you brave enough to come put out the fire. And I say you've been looking for the one, na. No, I'm not afraid to get it done, na. I know what to say, I know how to play. If you don't like it, tell me when to stop. Hola, yo me llamo Mariola. Ven aquí, acércate sin miedo que estoy sola. Hola, yo me llamo Mariola. Acércate sin miedo, ven aquí porque estoy sola. Hola, yo me llamo Mariola. Ven aquí, acércate sin miedo que estoy sola. Hola, yo me llamo Mariola. Acércate sin miedo, ven aquí porque estoy sola. Te quiero mi amor, tú eres mi sol. Vamos a bailar al ritmo del corazón. Te quiero mi amor, tú eres mi sol. Abrázame fuerte, tócame con pasión. Pasión, 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 pasión. I don't wanna waste this love that I found. I'm loving your skills, the way you're touching the ground. 'Cause you make me feel that your love is a sound. It shows me the sky and brings me back on the ground. The ground, the ground, the ground, the ground, the ground, the ground. Te quiero mi amor, tú eres mi sol. Vamos a bailar al ritmo del corazón. Te quiero mi amor, tú eres mi sol. Abrázame fuerte, tócame con pasión. Where is the love? 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 Te quiero mi amor, tú eres mi sol. Vamos a bailar al ritmo del corazón. Te quiero mi amor, tú eres mi sol. Abrázame fuerte, tócame con pasión. Everything's been so messed up here lately. Pretty sure he don't wanna be my baby. Oh, he don't love me, he don't love me, he don't love me, he don't love me, but that's okay. 'Cause I love me, I love me, I love me, I love myself anyway. I'm a mess, I'm a loser, I'm a hater, I'm a user, I'm a mess for your loving you. I'm obsessed, I'm embarrassed, I don't trust no one around us. I'm a mess for your loving you.
She don't love me, she don't love me, she don't love me, she don't love she don't love me, she don't love me, she don't love me, she don't love she don't love me, she don't love me, she don't love me, she don't love she don't love me, she don't love me, she don't love me, she don't love me, but that's okay. It's gonna be a good life. That's what my therapist says. Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be just fine. It's gonna be a good life. I'm a mess, I'm a loser, I'm a hater, I'm a user, I'm a mess for your loving and you. I'm obsessed, I'm embarrassed, I don't trust no one around us. I'm a mess for your loving and you, and you, and you.
prea târziu, cred. Poate ar trebui să mă întorc, că m-am grăbit să fiu mare și m-am trezit înconjurat de nebuni. Era cum unii căi, Doamne, Tu glumești. Am ajuns în viitor, dar n-ai cu cine să vorbești. Eu nu mai știu ce e real sau cine. Strânge-mă de mână, stai cu mine. Sunt aici de pe vremea când era cazul să mă car. Am rămas de unul singur încercând să par normal. Zboară timpul fără mine pe pilot automat. Un secret între joanute când de fapt
Au înnebunit să câni de atâta primăvară. Umbră de sfoia sub cerul, cu tot sufletul pe afară. S-a învățat pădurea verde, oasările s-a iubite. Au înnebunit să câni și tu vrei să fiu cu mine.
în palmă, să-mi oferească de oricine. Îmi schimbă primăvara în toamnă și încep să înțeleg că poate asta face parte din proces. Mi-au rămas câțiva aproape, sper că nu pe interes. Profit de fiecare clipă cât se poate, că parcă ieri trăgeam de timp, acum mă împinge de la spate. Sunt aici de pe vremea când era cazul să mă car. Am rămas de unul singur încercând să par normal. Zboară timpul fără mine pe pilot automat. Un secret între joanute când de fapt
Au înnebunit să câni de atâta primăvară. Umbră de sfoia sub cerul, cu tot sufletul pe afară. S-a învățat pădurea verde, oasările s-a iubite. Au înnebunit să câni și tu vrei să fiu cu mine.
Viața-i mai frumoasă oriunde e acasă, atâta timp cât tu ești numai a mea. Știi bine, doar de noi îmi pasă, nimic nu mă pasă, atâta timp cât noi vom rămâne așa. La cât de mult ador, nu știu cum să măsor. Sunt kilometri de la pământ la nori. Ți-am zis de atâtea ori că dacă o să te pierd automat o să mă pierd și eu. Dacă e vorba de dor și ești emițător, inima mea devine un receptor. Și dacă o să te pierd, știi că o să te caut mereu. Că viața mea ar fi cum si, cum sa, dacă n-ar avea amprenta ta. Rămâi în dreapta mea, nu pleca. Nu pleca. Și după o zi te-aș aștepta, speranța că te întorci cândva. Nu rupe inima, nu pleca. Aș fi cum si, cum si, cum si, cum sa. 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 Aș fi cum si, cum si, cum si, cum sa. Nu-i nimic dacă mă vei răni, fiindcă totul mă vei vindeca. Știi că împăcarea-i singura victorie dintr-o ceartă. Nu-i nimic nici dacă eu mă voi topi, că dorul de tine mă va îngheța. ce-aș face dacă ai pleca. Dacă ai fugi de mine, măcar să fugi încet, să te aștept cu flori dacă tot o să te întrec. Dacă nu vezi dragostea la prima vedere, trec încă o dată cu mare plăcere. Iubirea te pericol, pericol iminent, se pare că mi-a dat de majuli la sentiment. Dacă nu vezi dragostea la prima vedere, trec încă o dată cu mare plăcere.
Viața mea ar fi cum si, cum sa, dacă n-ar avea amprenta ta. Rămâi în dreapta mea, nu pleca.
Nu pleca.
Zi după zi te-aș aștepta, în speranța că te întorci cândva. Nu-mi rupe inima, nu pleca.
Aș fi cum si, cum sa.
Cum si, cum sa. Cum si, cum sa. Cum si, cum sa. Cum si, cum sa. Cum si, cum sa. Cum si, cum sa.
Dacă ai fugi de mine, măcar să fugi încet, să te aștept cu flori dacă tot o să te întrec.
Rămâi în dreapta mea, nu pleca.
Iubirea te pericol, pericol iminent, se pare că mi-a dat de majuli la sentiment.
Nu rupe inima, nu pleca. Viața n-ar fi cum si, cum sa, dacă n-ar avea amprenta ta. Rămâi în dreapta mea, nu pleca.
Nu pleca.
Zi după zi te-aș aștepta, în speranța că te întorci cândva. Nu rupe inima, nu pleca.
Aș fi cum si, cum sa.
Cum si, cum sa. Cum si, cum sa. Cum si, cum sa.
Siento tu cuerpo y la cintura yo muevo. Ay, papi, dame amor. Y en la noche bailamos, qué rico. Eres el único, baby, mi alma te quiero tanto. Ay, dale, tócame, hoy te doy mi corazón. Mamá tan buena, te gusta como te quema. Ay, papi, dame amor. Y ahora quieres mis labios, si quieres tantos mis besos. Caliente sueño contigo, quédate conmigo tú y yo. Dale, tócame, hoy te doy mi corazón. Me pierdo en tu mirada y tú sabes, baby, que mi corazón es tuyo.
get that first kill cleanly. Didn't really take any damage at all. And it will be a 5 versus 3. And oglaghie, he's not taking any prisoners this round, Alex. He wants to take everyone down with round number 5.
Yeah, he's hunting them down as best he can. Doesn't want to commit past long. I mean, even those doors with the shadow, it's just not worth it. Doesn't want to give it kill to the CTs at the moment. Speaking of kills, we can just take a quick glance at that scoreboard. It's all good in the hood. The only player yet to deliver is Carrigan and Kenny, respectively.
Pause here. Tactical timeout, I assume.
Was it from G2? I didn't quite catch you.
I think the admin forced the pause, so we're not sure just yet.
Oh, actually, yeah, we've got a disconnected Frozen.
Ah, so it's a technical.
We'll call it a tech.
So he's had a few. He's disconnected on train as well, even without that weird round. It didn't have any impact on the game. He was done for anyway.
There has been an addition to the Voxic story, hasn't there? We saw the chat that we weren't able to catch a glimpse of, but it was a discussion surrounding his config, actually. Not perhaps not all peripheral based.
I guess it stems from the mouse initially, the first issue of the day yesterday. That was the mouse, and now it's a config issue. But it's just weird. It caused a 20-minute delay.
It's strange that we were making the it's not strange that we were making the assumption it was the same issue, but a config issue with a 20-minute delay.
I can't
never
imagine what
encountered
config issue
anything
you can
like
have.
that.
Like you're bringing your config user home to the major, you just upload it, use it. Shouldn't be any issues there. I can't even work out what that could be.
He's got some voodoo radar binds or something.
Yeah, potentially. I couldn't even tell you what it is. I'd have to speak to them afterwards, I guess.
Yeah. But for now, you're forced to speak to me.
Yeah,
and these guys are forced not to speak to anyone. That's the tech timeout once again. So dead silence for the players.
To catch their breath, work out what the next round has in store for them. Remember, G2 did win the last round with a plethora of MAC-10s, but 3 weapons were saved on the mouseboard side. They saved a couple of AKs and an M4 as well, so definitely up for this round. We do need to see Vox get out of the AWP though. As that can happen, these back and forth games, your sniper can just never get going because every round you win is so agonizingly close that it comes to the point where you're just into a scout or an SMG next round. And we've seen plenty of games on Dusty where Kenny won't even get the AWP until round 12 because their finances have been so battered and bruised throughout the outing. So for now, waiting for Frozen to rejoin. It looks like he's typing away, working out what the problem could be.
A quick recap as well of the games that are happening elsewhere for any of you fans trying to watch, with 3 screens open. Keep track of all the Counter-Strike that's going on at the very same time. Vanguard met Hellraisers on Dust 2. This very map we find ourselves here for the best of 3. It was a success for the Avanga boys. They are coming for the Legends stage, 2-1 for Avanga, win versus Complexity and Hellraisers, and looks like we're back on track. So, Mousesports G2 is what you're here for. Map 2, Dust 2, and G2 with a 1-map lead. Let's see.
Oh, it's the B rush again. I love it. That is saying, you know what, let's just keep doing it. They can't handle this right now. Oh, he hits 2. It's Rob to the AWP, gets the first, and it looks like this is going to be very problematic. I'm not sure he's going to come out on top here. Fox is still alive, but not for long. Rob's still on the bomb site here, and it's going to be equal trades for now. Smoke towards the door. Advantage for the French. And now we have Carrigan and Frozen. Carrigan yet to frag in this game so far, 0-3 up against Jackson Amanek. A tag team duo looking to close out this 2-on-2 clutch.
It's a cool answer, taking the AWP to B, but it hasn't got them the whole way. They're not across the finish line yet. Yes, early damage. Yes, it stems the bleed, but now 2 versus 2. Amanek on default. Thanks for the crossfire, holding the window. It's gone well. Frozen's gone down. Now Carrigan, yes, he has a kit, but he's got to find 2 impossible. He gets the info on both. One shot. Amanek's taking the fight as well. So close.
Wow.
Saves the day for the French. Carrigan, it's always Carrigan trying to pull him across the line.
He had enough there. He gets through the window, hits a stunning shot to open things up, does the damage to the second. There's 1 bullet separating them there, but it's G2 that take it, and that's going to ruin the money on the mouseboard side just as they're getting back into this one.
Just the tiniest margins, the tiniest margins could shape this entire game. That's interesting. Rops has thrown that one out.
This used to be a bit of a mouseboard special when they had Oscar within their ranks.
Yeah.
Like we said, Vox is considered one of the best snipers on this map. They're putting a lot of stock within his skills in this potential round here because they're going to get an AWP and nothing else and hope he can get a mid-pick. Wouldn't surprise me if he challenges T-Spawn here.
Okay, well that answers my question. I was going to say, do you want to keep that one a little secret? Hope that they could push towards your site, posture him towards deep on A, hope they commit down long?
They are going to...
Oh, they
invest further into this one. They've got a scout as well.
They just called a pause because of this conversation.
Yeah.
There must have been a conversation started
I think
after that
they
AWP buy.
realised that we've invested so much into this AWP, we can't have 4 USPs around. That's not going to be enough. So they are actually going to force fully into this one, ladies and gents.
Ooh.
1 M4, a single AWP, and a scout. It's actually not too bad when you break it all down. Like, it means Voxic has to be either boosted on short or challenge T-spawn, which I wouldn't recommend in this game. It doesn't really seem to work out with the CTs ever. But we'll see what he can do. Voxic will be boosted towards short. Okay, does he got a second member with him? He does, so we boosted towards lower B at this stage. So we're going for that opening play. They're rushing B again.
Rops is solo with a scout. This should be impossible to hold, and it is. Yes, you've tagged up 1, but there's 4 Ts to deal with. It's just not realistic, and they've
4
gone
rounds in a row,
B again.
Why not? If it's working, like, and they legit can't hold you off. This is the Chad Birchall school of Counter-Strike right now. Just keep doing it, keep pumping them with aggression.
If it ain't broke.
Yeah, that's something he likes a lot. So I'm sure he's enjoying this.
Certainly. I mean, for now, the G2 strat book is just a single letter. Voxic's going to try and keep hold of that AWP, kindly donated to him by Rops, and of course Rops had to have the poor man's AWP for a solo B hold. My goodness, that scout didn't get him far. Lucky, he's got a couple of scars from it, but that's another round.
They invested everything they had. They didn't get a single kill. They got 1 scout tag in.
With a B rush.
With the B rush, and like you'd think, they've done it 3 times in a row. Do we try and counter this? They surely won't. That's the mindset they're in is right now. They surely won't do it again. Which would logically it takes they won't, because it just should be very, you can counter that very easily. Right? You know, it's not like it's a strong tactic, but if it's working out for them, the Mac 10s and their money's low, they might not have helmets. You can see how destructive it can be, especially when the money's low. They won't have the incendiary, for example. That's why they're trying to force their way into B over and over again. Do they do it once more, though? That would be kind of nuts. Voxic surely goes to his B window this round with the AWP. Like, I can't see in a world where he doesn't. We
saw the answer clearly was that AWP from Rops, right? He took the AWP to B, and that was the closest they came down to that 2v2.
Yeah.
Voxic's not. He's taking that AWP on the way towards A, and G2 doesn't look like they're going to be pulling the same trick this time. Certainly not off the opener.
Well, they've done the same flash. Lucky is actually throwing in utility to suggest they are doing it. They've got 2 players in the B side now, Rops and Frozen. That's over with the M4. He boosted on short again, but he's not going to be looking towards lower B. He's just holding the catwalk. It's a slower approach here from G2. Shoxy towards short. 3 players outside long. Lucky holding the B tunnels. They're actually transitioning over to the other side of the map here.
Chris has gone for a Kevlar vest with his USP.
Is he really?
Yeah, what's that gonna... That is $700.
I guess he's hoping that if Voxic dies, he can pick up the AWP and still be viable with it. That's the only approach I can really think of. He'll Hulk him, I'd assume.
Gets the shot. Chris J's got the USP and the frag and the AK. Back away, dream outcome.
It works out, and Chris J would have died without the armor.
He's got Kevlar.
Yeah, he got 46 if he would have died for sure without Kevlar.
There you go. Is the round over? Lucky doesn't think so. Carrigan caught.
That's so funny.
See what Kenny can do. Training his aim on this CT side. Chris J has tucked himself into that corner with his new armored AK, and Rops does. I think he knows it's coming. Yep, Amanek, he's full grey screen there. It may look a little silly, but he can't see a thing as he emerges out of that smoke. Chris J's looking to swing. He's over the scope. He can't flick. That is absurd. He's got friction burns on his wrist from that one. Does get traded, but Kenny, no one should hit that.
Oh, God. That's a statement in itself. He's just getting warmed up.
That's old school. That's very retro.
Well, a strong round from Mouse Sports, I have to say. The AWP USP combo. It's not known to be the strongest, but it certainly works out there as Chris J handles it so well. It's Vox who gets the first, and Chris J ready with the most basic of weaponry. The silenced USP makes the kill happen. Let's have a look at this.
Is this in slow-mo? Yeah.
Oh, Frozen. He's made you look a little bit silly there.
I wish we could have the player cam of Frozen's face when he just gets slapped. Wow. Tactical pause called in by G2 after that one. And they have got a double AWP. This is where the Counter-Strike gets a little more interesting. Chris J and Woxic pulling out the double AWP for the CT side. G2, they've secured such a lovely lead due to some of their successes on B, hitting it back to back to back to back to back. But at least successfully, of course, interlaced with a couple of Mouse Sports wins. You can see there on your screen. Love this graphic. Give you that round recap. Get your head around it. For anyone that's perhaps a little newer to the graphics and the overlay, that little icon you're seeing there is to do with eliminations. They won it via eliminations, or of course that bomb exploding you can see there as well.
Indeed. Kenny S. Doesn't spot 3, but that's exactly what's happened. Mouse Sports could actually go for a little push here if they so wish, trying in the incendiary, and just making sure the B defense is nice and strong, considering there's been so many B rushes throughout this campaign so far. Feeling that's not a threat anymore. One of the orbs will fall back. That's going to be Voxic. And now Chris J with a double orb set up after the success in the previous round. Voxic surely has this kill. Narrowly misses out on any damage there. The grenade might tickle one of them, does no damage, and short control is granted towards the French players.
Just the angle that Shox chose to get up on that Xbox was so perfect that you couldn't be seen by that orb. I mean, it's all these tiny little decisions.
Yeah.
Thousands upon thousands of hours of Counter-Strike all accumulating in pursuit of that major trophy. And this is just day 2 of the first stage of competition.
This is a sign of things to come. This is a CSGO major, and this is the very first stage. We've got 2 more to go after this. Epic game so far. First map didn't work out, but now it's working on the pick of G2. B split looking likely. 3 towards the tunnels of Voxy. You feel like he's going to get at least one of these. He is blind. He doesn't connect. And Robs now has to deliver with Frozen. It is the bomb down. He finds the second kill. It's going to be up to Shoxy here. Does he find this all-important frag? He certainly does. They know Frozen is tucked in towards the car. They need to take him down. It all of a sudden goes down to a 3 versus 3. No kits available on the CT side and a lack of utility to say the least. They do some damage towards Lucky. The bomb's going to go down here. And Voxy can't dive through the window until his teammates are with him.
Yeah, he made that sound, but also I want to remind you that's a double orb retake. Not only is it a double orb retake, it's a double orb retake on the hardest site in Counter-Strike history to retake. I mean, this is a tough one. Let's see, they're having a go. Carrigan's going to be enough to
leave it, boys.
Get out of guys. I don't know why they're still there. Yeah, looks like they're turning tail. He may be hunted down just a little bit. Woxic and Chris J trying to starper away, and I think that's the end of Woxic. Chris J will preserve one of the big greens, and it's something. Not much of a consolation, I say that. You might not just find cover in time. There's going to be a double peek. Does manage to take the head off Shox, trying to keep hold of his orb, but Kenny's ready to shut him down, and so 6 for the French.
Double orb set up. It'd be wonderful if everything's going in your favor, but as soon as that bomb goes on in B, you're right. That's really up there with like the outside bomb site on Train and Dust 2 B bomb site. It's very difficult to retake, especially with a man disadvantage, even more so with 2 AWPs, and it's all down to Shoxy there. He comes through the smoke, he times it to perfection, he takes down Robs and really ruptures the defense there and Dust 2. A
lovely little tidbit as well was when he was playing around that smoke after his frag on Robs, he decided to get on that barrel. So if any bullets got thrown in from or in pursuit of that trade, he would be away from that crosshair anticipation. Nice work.
Well, they've brought up again. Double orbs with pistols and an M4. I guess desperate times call for desperate measures, Alex. They're trying to really get themselves back into this game. They're going to spend everything they've got. They need some rounds on the CT side.
They have the tools at their disposal, not only with the weapons, but with the players in this team to get away with buys like this.
Well, absolutely. We'll see if they can make this one work. No B rush this time. Oof. Chris J spotted. He gives up the fact he has an orb now. That might change things slightly. They know this is in the eco.
It's time to start using that utility, I think. You're going to start seeing that deplete, in quick succession, a response. A smoke on towards short. Unlikely to dissuade them, but certainly slow them down.
A gap towards middle right now. Trying to see if any CTs will walk into his crosshair. Jack's holding short. In terms of the general setup, it looks like an A finish to me. No one towards tunnels. Jack's a short control. They have got a very good A execution on the G2 side. A wall of smokes, and they'll drop down towards spawn and try and overwhelm AWPers is their primary objective with this sort of set piece they're going to deliver right now.
There isn't a single Molotov or smoke to slow them down. This is it. It's all about the bullets. Already they drop, sending the MAC-10, charging towards Woxic's location. He can't handle that. He can't even think about that. Frozen's only got a Desert Eagle, but that's a fantastic start. Can't get the AK out in time. Lucky quick to trade. Gets the pre-fire going as soon as he saw the retrieval process, and now, well, that's the end of Chris J. That's the end of the round. And Kenny S is going short. Carrigan's not going to go for a scavenging mission. Rops is, of course, left alone on B. And G2, they look so crispy.
Yeah, they're poised right now. Coming into this game, there was an interview we grabbed on HLTV. We had a look into it, right? And it said, Shoxy, this is a quote, "I came to this major really fresh and with a certain eagerness I have not felt for a long time." Now, I would say
when was the last time?
He looks pretty damn eager if you ask me at this point. He is playing this game perfectly. See that play down in CT spawn? He only gets 1 kill, but he shuts down Chris J and Orb coming to retake a bomb site. That's massive, and he's just thinking 1 step ahead of his opposition. He's snuck through middle all the way towards B doors. No one had any idea. He's in CT spawn there in position of not even checking. He is 1 step ahead of Mount Swords in every single scenario.
Yeah, and that is not a quote I would have seen from Shox. You know, talking about his motivation, it's always been somewhat of a taboo subject. It's something that we've avoided, he's avoided, but talking about eagerness that he hasn't felt in a long time, that's very telling.
Yeah.
Fire lit underneath the G2 squad in pursuit of legend status. And this is the map they can achieve it.
Well, that was the force fire, remember, as well, in the previous round. They've got an M4 here and USPs. Julie's for Frozen. 3 towards B once again. They've smoked middle, but it's a long take from G2. Focusing towards that position with the MAC-10. Amanek gets out cleanly. They've detected no threats here. They can probably just operate with a contact play up long, smoke the crossover, get the bomb down. Carrigan, I think he's currently set on 1 kill and 7 deaths, so it's not like he's going to do 1 kill and 8 deaths. He's not going to do much of a P250 with no armor, holding the bomb site here.
Yeah, should be an open and shut case. Kenny ensures it starts as the mean to go
Here
on.
he is again, locking them all in.
Yeah.
You can hear them in lower B now.
I mean,
And he's got 3 kills, ready and waiting 2 now as they actually fall back somewhat.
just leaving the one on the chopper
He heard
block,
him.
and that's the back turn, but the Julies are not working out for Frozen. A bit of a frustrating one for the youngster.
He only does 19 damage there as well. You'd think
Yeah.
at least gets a dink with that sort of opportunity.
Back's turned, I'm telling you, the back of the head, it's just...
With the Julies especially, it's a very difficult gun to operate with. Oh,
Lee.
Robs. They know he plays B. Where else is he going to reside at this point?
They want to take that M4, they want to take that Kevlar away from him, and it only costs Amanek his MAC-10. Gets himself the upgrade on the M4. And G2, everything they do is working. It is a recipe for not only a quick series, but also a fantastic start to the major for the French. Tactical pause called by the French. Of course, this is an opportunity for Mouse as well. Oh, actually looks like correction is necessary. It was Mousesports. Coach using his full 30 seconds. It is 4 30-second timeouts given to each team that they can use to not only converse with each other, but also their coach. Microphone muted for the interim.
Indeed. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like coaches should be allowed to jump in at all times and be there, part of the squad?
I was very kind of adamant that that change felt like a very strong limitation, but I also think I understand the thought process that Valve had, which was we want to keep the very high level of Counter-Strike as close to the lowest level of Counter-Strike as they can.
It's worked, in my opinion, because you look at in-game leaders within CSGO, they're worth their weight in gold. A decent in-game leader is difficult to find. So you have someone just crutching you and making sure you're supported at all times. I think that's a bit of a cop-out. So I like that. The fact they can chime in when they have to, I think it's a good balance. I'm not mad at this.
And it's a thought process you have to have. It's another conversation to have. Do we want to use our timeout now?
Yep.
Coach can call it as well. I think I've seen a multitude of different coaches. Actually, Myth is the one at the tip of my tongue who will happily just call that timeout themselves, make the hand gesture towards the IGL. It's their choice.
No kits, Alex, and almost no utility at this point. 1 smoke remaining on the CT side. They have got an AWP for Voxic. He's had 1 impressive sequence so far. The scout, he's got 3 kills. Apart from that, pretty quiet from the sniper's point of view. Shoxy 10 kills, anything but. Round 12 here. Voxic once again towards short. The rounds they have been winning have been in this position. He's probably going to get this first kill, no problem. You normally want to Molotov or at least flash it. Face checking like that is normally going to lead to that sort of scenario, but they make up for it. Shoxy hits an absolutely stunning shot on towards the A side.
Without any concern that there could have been a player on site. He was just ready, bloodlusting towards Voxic, and now Shox could be taken down. Not the case. Carrigan couldn't finish what he started. Got the dink on Shox, and with 10 HP. What do shots connect for the Frenchman? Bomb will go down courtesy of Kenny. Amanek still on B, by the way, and Rops standing vigilant. These two have been catching each other time after time. Same corner, same result, but G2, of course, on the other side of the map with the bomb down. Looks like his team are going to be looking to keep hold of everything, and it's an all too familiar tale now for the European roster.
It's absolutely true. Voxic hits that first shot. Looks like that was enough. He tries to scamper away towards the embrace of Carrigan on the long crossover there, but Shoxy just catches him in the back of the dome. And it will be Carrigan dinking in the follow-up. He had about 5-6 bullets to actually finish him off there. Couldn't find the shot. You give Shoxy an inch, he'll take a mile every single time, and he gets 2 kills. Job done. He said he's eager, and he's certainly delivering on all fronts.
I mean, the scale of Dust 2 and the structure of it, you see so many of these crucial frags. You know, if Carrigan hits that shot on Shox, if he plays survival, that bomb's certainly not down. Rops is a much bigger part of the round. It's all these ifs and buts, of course. And look at this from Shox. He did at least acknowledge that there could have been a player on site, but so well played from him. That's the frag onto Carrigan, feeling himself.
No AWPs available. M4s are out, and they're going for a long take here. Incendiary doesn't look like it's going to be that problematic at all, really. Carrigan.
He's crossing.
Oh, he's flashed, but he does get towards the pit. That's great. They've seen the trajectory of it. It's a decent grenade.
Oof.
He flashes himself. He wanted to throw the smoke. I didn't think he realised what he had out. Good shot from Carrigan. Nice work. Carrigan.
He knows that was a boost, right? He knows there's going to be another one in that smoke, but keeps re-aiming it. And Voxic shutting down the AWPer. Bomb loose as well. They have that information to work with, but do they have this information? Lucky's already on A site. Chris J, he's going to be anticipating. He can hear the steps. He's not going to be ready for the second, surely. Shox is going to be shut down, and Chris J, I think Mouse Sports in pursuit of their fourth. Amanek.
The AWP's good choice.
The right weapon of choice. To there. Okay. If he was given an opportunity to dart away in a 1v2, that could have gone south.
9-4. Mouse Sports will hold on. They collect an AK-47 and the AWP.
Chris J saving them. I mean, that was the same story on Train, right? The few rounds they managed to make impact on, it was courtesy of the Dutchman. Lovely multi-kill on site and finishing it off as well onto Amanek before things got out of control.
Round 14, ladies and gents. Double AWP set up on the T side. You don't see that too often. One of the few maps is actually viable on is Dust 2 as you're going for gap shots here. The auto sniper is out for Chris J. Also a viable weapon, I think, is criminally underutilized considering how powerful it can be.
Yeah.
It was quite prolific in the early stages of CSGO. 2012, 2013, it was used a lot by the likes of NIP, but you don't really see it that much anymore. I feel like it's one of those weapons. There'll be one major, one big tournament, one team is using it so much and they're getting amazing results, and they will catch on.
Yeah, the one, of course, crutch of the auto sniper is the AWP, and that's a bait and a half. You see that? Double AWPs on the T side. He's trying to shut down Kenny. He knows that's the AWP. He thinks he can take that fight. Shox locking his eyes on his position. Rocks will upgrade. And here comes the Dag. Chris J equalizing onto Jack.
Smoke towards B, just to suggest there's some presence to that side of the map. That's thrown by Amanek. He'll make his way back towards D-spawn. He's baited out decent utility here, so it has sort of worked out. Lucky. Out Rops with the AWP. That was actually purchased by himself. This is not a look you see too often where Voxic's got the Scout and Rops has the AWP, but I guess he's playing the B-bomb side. He's had a lot of trouble on that side of the map. Feels like it's the only weapon he can really use to shut them down one by one.
And talking of things we don't see all too often, successful double AWPing on T-side Dust 2.
Yeah, well, I guess it's one of those maps, like I said it so often, like you don't necessarily need the deepest strat book. You don't need to have the greatest understanding of the map. It's like one of those maps, if you're hitting your shots and you can freestyle it, no problem. You can just make on-the-fly calls, you can call B rushes, and they're all viable. Double AWP setup, if Shoxy and Kenny are feeling it, why not? And we'll get into the final minute of the first half here. No damage inflicted just yet. Well, until Shoxy makes his entrance towards the B-bomb site. It's going to be Kenny S giving away his AWP to a very dangerous individual, Chris J. Great flash. He's going to have to use it and hope for the best here. Can't hit the shot. And it's going to be one from Chris J. Doesn't really do much for them, though. The remaining two CTs are all the way on the A-bomb site with no kits. And you've got Carrigan and Vox on the retake. 10 frags between these two. Is there any chance they can retake this?
Does look like they're going to give it their very best shot. There's no reason not to. Last round of this half. Last chance for them to find a fifth. Flash comes in. Carrigan's going to go and try and find a close quarters fight, but you can see G2 just using time on their side. Woxic's gone too. 11 rounds on the T side of Dust 2, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible stuff.
And with that in mind, it is the end of the half, and we're going to throw it to a quick break and be back with you very shortly.
An exceptional form found by G2 here in the second day of the StarLadder Berlin Major. Map 2 for them, and in pursuit of the Legends stage. 2-0 so far for them in their run, and now their third opponent has been somewhat of a walk in the park. The difference is, this is Mousesports we're talking about, ranked 8th in the world. Have been unable to field anything resembling significant resistance. I'm Machine, I'm joined by Henry G.
Hello there, how are you?
Hi, I'm worried. You know, I've made it clear, no secret, somewhat of a Mousesports fan, high expectations of them. Delivering so far, of course, admittedly through some strife against versus a Vanguard in their previous matchup. A victory in overtime brought them here. Now, I think we're running out of time, running out of chances. Mousesports, what can you do?
Yeah, the odds are stacked against them in more ways than one. Shoxy just looks too good right now.
He looks like he's back to his old ways.
This is OG Shoxy right
16
now.
frags in the half, Henry.
He's dominating rounds by himself. His calls are getting him in great positions. His flanks are just superb. There's not really much he's doing wrong at this point.
It is peculiar. Of course, have a crowd present here as well. Tickets available for the Challenger, Legends and the Champion stage. That's what's so cool here. You get to see all of those stages in action.
Well, we do have the 2 smokes on the T side here, one of which has already been used. That's going to be deployed towards the Xbox area. Kenny's going to use that. Oh, is he going to sit in that? I love it if he does.
If he does, and then he can flank short.
Oh, this is
Jax
sick.
can bait him in.
This is sick.
They won't do it.
No, they have to. They wouldn't throw that in.
Okay, so Kenny sits in the
now the trouble is he'll dissipate about 3 seconds
on the wall.
Yeah, he's going to get out.
Try and dip away. Carrigan's firing the shots, but he's willing to commit. There is a player close to him, or where he is old position. Frozen pushed up by Dort. 3 players from the T-side charging towards long. This is actually not too bad. Lucky's got these eyes on the prize. He has the USP as well, a perfect weapon to take that fight. Woxic always so close to hitting that shot, but it's not enough. Whistles past the ears of the Mousesports players, and now problems arise for the French. Kenny, he's one of the 2 left standing. Shox didn't buy a thing in this round, if my eyes don't deceive me.
No, he didn't. He's gone for the full eco. He wants the AWP second round if they won the pistol. So, Shoxy, 5-on-1. Like he said, didn't buy anything here. And if they'd have won that round, he'd had a ton of money going forward, but it's not going to be the case. He still has 2,700 here. I don't think they need to force buy here, but we'll see what they're up to. $2,000 per player. And get into round 17. The fact that Shoxy has that extra cash, buying up next round, he'll get a nice strong buy under his belts.
Didn't come back to play too much of a part in the round either. A great play from Mousesports, all things considered. Slow, methodical, smoke on Xbox, take on mid. Carrigan, he's going to have to make some sterling calls. I mean, if we consider this like an in-game leader battle between Carrigan and Shox making those calls, at the moment it's there's a clear front runner.
B-rush.
Big B-rush. Flashes, smokes, the whole shebang, and instead the CTs find themselves at long. It's going to be a wide open sight. I say wide open. See, Rops is going to be getting all of these. No worries. Ooh. 4 in quick succession just melts any chance of the USPs being a threat. Nice work. The call was made, B's open, and a smile creeping onto his face.
The first time in this series we've seen Rob smile at this point. It's nice to see. That might be the fire beneath him that can get them back into this game. And you can see the odds coming in. It's not looking too good for Mousesports. That's the overall series odds, I should add. Not just for this map. This is the best of 3. We have Vertigo as a 3rd if required.
Oh, don't get me excited.
We haven't seen Vertigo at this major yet. I didn't think we would until later stages of the tournament, especially not on this section where there's a lot of best of 1s. But either way, nice round from Robs.
It's fun just to see how undaunted he was by that task. Just mops them up is the word I was looking for. Nice opener onto Jax. Was just the SMG though. MP9 was in the grasp of him, and actually Kenny's going to smoke short and play ahead of it, anticipating some T presence there. But while he doesn't find anything, he does get a face full of information. Nothing there means there has to be a stack somewhere else.
Shoxy is pushed into lower B. He is hunting for Carrigan. If he checks his corner, he's got a free kill. He doesn't. That could come back to haunt him.
They could call that clear.
Yep. And Carrigan can backstab them now. Once they get the aggro towards middle, Carrigan come in, and they've got no helmets on the CT side.
This is such a dynamic CT half. What is going on? Look at this from G2.
Well, they know they're on the back foot now. They need something. They've cleared upper B. Actually, that information might work out for them. Because as far as they're concerned, it's clear. There is one more check coming in from Shoxy again. He's going to look in towards the upper B area. He's killed Carrigan for sure.
Carrigan's throwing utility into B, but Carrigan shuts down Shox. That could really throw a spanner into the works, because now just 3 CTs remain. They are in the right place, but can they do the right things? Woxic has already taken down Lucky, getting towards and it's not particularly magical.
Oh no. Not too pretty from Kenny.
And okay. Whew. And Carrigan holding W a little too quickly. Preemptive push makes the spray a little more messy, but 11-7. And mousesports looking to forge a path back into this series, and I mean it. I mean, this would be an absurd, resilient effort from them. On the T side of Dust 2 no less, against the G2 with an informed Shox. Kenny's hitting those 180s we saw in the first half. I mean, he's definitely comfortable. He's got that mouse feel.
This will be the eco for G2. Few upgraded pistols, no damage inflicted on the cross. 3 towards long, to a B, and it's Carrigan who's committed by himself. That's not gone too well for him.
3 members there. I don't know if Chris is going to fall into this trap or not. I think he rightfully does choose to back away.
So they got a rifle at least. So it's an M4 in the hands of Lucky, and he spotted a couple of players towards long, so it's not all in vain. He can call. They've got to take some time to rotate back towards B, but now a chance for G2 in the 5 versus 4.
Yeah, to accelerate. Shox wants to try and get an early frag, but Chris is the one to do exactly that. Now B side is rather wide open, but these are fantastic bullets. Connecting them from doors does keep the eyes turned, and Jax makes his presence known from CT, but the numbers heavily favour mousesports as they did from the finances at the start of this round. Just Lucky's recovered M4, he's got no armour, and he's likely going to want to preserve that for the round to come.
He's got a Deagle and a Molotov as well, so yeah, for sure, going to want to hold on to it. He'd have picked up that Molotov from Carrigan's corpse. You drop 1 grenade upon death. Lucky will hold on to the rifle. Jax can certainly flirt with the idea of taking down an exit kill here, but he's been spotted. That pretty much thwarts his chances here. Holding towards spawn, he's just going to hope they challenge him, and unfortunately for him, the Molotov is available. They can flush him out, no problem, and Lucky just to save the M4. 11-8. So a chance now. It's never over. They managed to win the pistol and follow it up with a conversion, and now 4-0 up in the second half. Robson goes only 50-9, and we have Voxic with 14 kills as well. That's slightly skewed by Robs's ace against the full eco.
That's a good point.
But yeah, still gonna get him in the game. Like those frags might seem like they're irrelevant, but it actually fires a player like him up. Yeah, he'll feel like, okay, now I'm starting to feel it. You know, he can start believing in himself.
Because you are given 5 targets in very quick succession. Yes, it is. You know, you have a significant advantage, but it's by far from easy.
No, it's still an impressive sequence, and he's smiling after that one we saw, so it helps him out emotionally, I suppose.
Carrigan, who has had such a strong individual major, has fallen off somewhat here in perhaps sacrifice and in pursuit of greatness and in victory. The timeout called, but it's going to give Malek a chance to probably just say keep going. Don't get thrown off too bad. It's only a strong start, because if you look at it, it has been that pistol converted and then some. 4 back-to-back for mousesports. Yet to concede on this T side, actually. 11-4 half. It's now 11-8.
Here we go then. Next gun round. Kenny S with the AWP. Like we said, CTs don't really challenge T-spawn anymore. It's just too much of a disadvantage. T's is waiting for it, and it's an incredibly difficult shot to hit. Either way, Carrigan fast up towards shore. Kenny, not even aware of it, or sure. They are starting to reposition the A bomb site, so at least aware of the possibility. Nice incendiary. We'll push Carrigan back somewhat.
These CT smokes, I've seen Kenny throw one from top of mid. I just saw mousesports throw one from the taxi. They've all got these fantastic long-range smokes. Everyone's been doing their homework ahead of the major. Something ridiculous here. You can see Kenny, he wasn't expecting him to be low. Look to adjust for short. In the meantime, though, this has gone back and forth in favor of Mouse. They're looking to perhaps even back away. G2, Zamanek towards short. Looks like we're going to be seeing Shoxy head towards long. Perhaps not the save just yet, or just looking to contain. Let's find out.
With no kits. And that helps out a lot. Shoxy somehow gets that shot towards the car, no less.
Wow.
I don't think they're going for it still. Shoxy does fall back from long, so I think they're going for the exits here, which is the right call. But still, I think Frozen might have this kill on Amanek.
Oh, perfect.
Nice work. Well, there we have it. 5 in a row now for mousesports. Money is there for G2. They've had the loss bonus for a while. Lucky has $7,100. Shoxy 5K, but 3 of them hovering around 4,000. So not ideal. There is a buy there. They've gone for it. MP9 for Jax, an AWP for Kenny. Amanek with 3,700 might have to have a similar train of 4 to Jax. He goes with the UMP, so indeed he does. 1 kit available.
Composure, so crucial at these moments now.
Yes.
Will we see Vertigo and answer?
It's a possibility now.
They're in pursuit of, Amanek towards B is going to be smoking off that Molotov and trying to play it close. Likely actually going to get himself up on that box, Powerful for the solo hold, certainly with a weapon like his, but the bomb is posturing towards that direction. What does he have in his arsenal? Nothing but a nade and a flash. Doki or
No
cool?
panic,
Yeah.
no harm.
Sorry, Mick, just swarming up the old mouse, and Frozen's going to catch him perfectly. Amanek was full blind. A bright white screen. In a bright white sheet, not a single body lost for Mouse Sports, not a single point of health other than Carrigan's oopsie daisies early. And now the bomb will go in, and it does look like G2 again forced into a save. This is actually the same kind of territory that Mouse Sports found themselves in on their defense. That B site gets taken, you just have to accept it. Very little resistance, just that SMG.
This is looking quite good for Mouse Sports now. These picks towards B, very impactful. You saw Frozen flash, the same flash GT were using, bouncing in the cubby hole, comes through, manages to absolutely eviscerate Amanek upon arrival. UMB has no chance, fully flash, no chance to even react. Carrigan spamming towards the paper mache car at long. And they're actually making sure that they can go on a bit of a hunt here. They're starting to build up some nice bank accounts at this stage. You can see $12,000 on Frozen. Wow. They get $3,500 to play on top of that after winning via Explosion. So they've got 5 digits on 3 different players. Frozen has 16,000, by the way. So that's the maximum you can actually have in CS. So they were going to bring a comeback to the table. It's looking pretty good now.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to want to spend some of it, I'm sure. Yeah, just going to treat himself.
Well, if anyone needs a drop, he'll have to do it.
He'll beat the guy.
Yeah, because it's
in their interest, right?
Yeah, you don't want to have 16K, as stupid as that sounds. You want to be making sure that you bring in money in every single time. So just to maintain the balance you have.
Yeah. Spread the wealth.
There's no interest here. There's no prizes for having the most money.
No, that's called capitalism.
Indeed.
We live that reality.
Well, that's what esports was built upon.
Hell yeah. Speaking of, this is brought to you by Secret Lab.
Do you have to do the call out now? They're going to want it after that.
The best in the CSGO world deserves the world's best comfort. GG.bet as well. Of course, our bookkeepers have been giving you all of those odds, and the odds were heavily in favour of G2.
Oh dear.
Let's jump in round 22. Yet to see G2 break this T side. It has been flawless for Mouse Sports ever since the shift, and it has been quite the shift in momentum. A team that's looked relatively lost now looking to battle for redemption on first go. Will we see it? Kenny doesn't think so. Quick flick for Chris Chase there. Jax with that MP9. It should have been a multi-kill. So close. What? Carrigan with 28 points of health. Another bullet could have done it.
Make it 4. The nade catches him. He's got a kill.
He's being hunted.
Oh, the bomb goes down. The first real chance G2 have had of actually picking up a round here. Shoxy is not messing about at all today. Beautiful stuff towards Shaw, and surely Robs can do nothing with this. At this stage, he's trying to cause financial ruin if he can. He's down to 36 points of health. I don't think he'll be winning this round, but if he can at least find one more, that'd be excellent. He's got past Shoxy. He's aware of the potential presence towards his position. He spotted him. He's got the kill. It's for free. Shoxy's be gutted at that one. They know exactly where the bomb is on the CT side, and Amanek needs to have his wits about him at this point. He has one smoke. He knows Robs is towards long, and he's making a bit of noise now as well, so he'll have information. He's going to want to drop that smoke shortly.
Don't want to get caught out with that smoke in his hands either. Rob's in hot pursuit.
Did he spot him? No, he didn't.
Oh, I'm worried that that back could be turned. The smoke's down. Amanek's casting his eyes towards middle. Shadow's there. Robs has got to hit one shot. This bullet.
He's giving him a smoke to pick up the bomb, I think. He could grab that.
He kind of has. He is low, though. It's a risk. He's probably not willing to take the Molotov to force him out. In retrieval, as Amanek's having to deal with the flames. Now Rob's looking to go 1 versus 3 to keep this untainted T side alive. Heading towards the site. 24 seconds. He's going to have to plant safe and does get it just in the nick of time. Amanek dropping. It's not bad. Robs is going to have to clear this.
Fire to shroud the drop.
Robs is none the wiser at all. Now starting to figure it out. Teammates perhaps giving him the help.
Yeah, they said that shot seemed a little bit weird.
For the 1v3, Amanek has to save G2. It's gone from impossible to very, very likely. Amanek has to stop this. He's taking the fight, and so low. G2 find their first round, courtesy of their newest addition.
It costs them every dollar they have. It comes down to 4 HP, but they do get the defuse in and will extend their lead at this point. My God, Robs came tantalizingly close there to actually finding that 1 versus 3. If anything, he does have somewhat of a victory, knowing that they win the next round. There's so much eco potential for G2 going forward. They are on thin ice right now. MP9 for Jax once again. They get 3 rifles around it, an AWP for Kenny. So it's not as terrible as it could be for this round, but if they lose this, they're in a lot of trouble.
Find out just how much trouble they'll be in. Using that smoke to guide their cross. Stops any of that early info, of course. Without it, that B cross is called every single time the scope is pressed to Voxic's eye.
B approach. 3 players making their way towards the site. Trickle smoke expected. It's just going to be a straight up flash, you know. They're just going to flash and go off this.
I mean, if you've got Frozen to send in first with Rops to trade, I'm in. It's quite...
Frozen's been cracking open this side, no problem.
Foxy's going to be the one to throw the utility in here. They come, they're sending in their Brawlers, they're sending in the Berserker, and he's not going to make it to minus Tiras just yet. Carrigan shuts down Shoxy, and Amanex holding this site safe, only for the first though, because from behind, Carrigan strikes. Bomb retrieved, AWP swapped out for him, and this from Chris J. He's been waiting by taxi for so long on that long push. He hears the steps, he knows the situation, and now it's all about timing. 3 backs will be turned as he descends from this one. Assassin's Creed, eat your heart out, because he's going in for the kill. Slow, methodical, bullets to the backside. Lucky's gone.
He just hides away as well. Now they know they can't do anything. They got to focus on it. They're going to have to save. If he gets another one here, that's great, but he's done enough already. That's an existence special, that one, where your teammates are all taking up the B bomb site and you're dropping down CT spawn just behind them. That's from way back in the day. But either way, it's going to be another round for Mousesports. Like we said, if G2 lost this one, they're in so much trouble, and Kenny's going to be dropped here as well.
Oh dear.
Orb goes, and now Jax. He'll get the frag and recover the AWP, but that's going to be difficult to recover. Their money's not going to be in a great spot. They get $2,900 per player for the next round. Jackson dropped one, shocks him by himself. With the AWP there, I would say it's worth a buy. Oh, he almost gets taken down right at the end there. Saved by the bell. As we'll surely take a tactical timeout here. Both teams probably need it.
Catch your breath. This time it's called by G2. This is where the coach has to step in, because his team is starting to perhaps doubt themselves. They had such an incredible first defense on Train. It was nearly impervious, that's the word I'm looking for, but like they could not be broken on their defense this time. Quite the contrary.
Well, they want to get the double AWP setup out. They just haven't had the opportunity yet. They've just about got Kenny on glass cannons and no helmets, no nades. They ideally want to get lucky on that secondary AWP as well. That's when they really can start battering down the hatches. But right now, Mousesports look way too comfortable. It's currently 7-1 in the second half. It's just a single round picked up with 4 HP separating the 2 teams in that round.
That's true.
That goes to replicate what we were saying before, the fact that they'll have no money if they lose a single round. They've got 2 SMGs here. They do have an AWP. This could be a real turning point of the game and the series.
Sink or swim. G2, they've been given the chance to throw the knockout blow on Dust 2, but can they close it out on the defensive side?
And remember as well, Mousesports had the option at the end of the veto. They chose to go to Vertigo here, so they're obviously prepared on the map.
I imagine every team has taken a glance at it, certainly perhaps the only exception to that being Liquid.
Short. AWP of Kenny. Currently residing towards a crossover. He's in the prime position, but it's so difficult to handle. They do a full execution here. It's designed to remove AWPers from the equation.
Kenny's just playing anti-flash. Rops is about to try and take this fight on long. It's a hard shot to hit. Jax is the one to receive. Meantime, Woxic's about to go and try and crack open mid, and they do. Chris J leaping from short, actually finds the frag, and defense is successful, but that's not where the bomb's going. You can see it's in the grasp of Voxic towards tunnels, and actually, interestingly enough, Amanex pushing into tons. He could get the bomb off this, though. If Voxic does get caught off, it does seem like he's anticipating it. Nice work from Chris J, clearing every possibility.
Yeah, he had no choices there. He had an SMG. He wasn't going to hold off 2 coming through either window or door, and he knew that if he sits in the bomb site, he's going to be done for there. Another round for Mousesports, and the financial worries of G2 continue here. It's going to tie things up at 12-12. They're trying to save 2 members here, Lucky and Jax. They've got a Krieg and an M4 holding towards long, and once again Mousesports just looking way too comfortable towards that middle and B bomb site.
Yeah. So comfortable. Both teams on their T sides have just looked poised. Uncharacteristic, sure.
Are we casting next door as well?
It does sound like us, for sure.
It sounds like you and I are next door right now.
Well, shout out to Harry and Hugo. There is 2 streams running simultaneously to this one. If you have had your eyes locked on this one, I don't blame you. Don't move a muscle, but second stream available to you as well. And that game is underway now. I believe I was keeping an eye on it. It's Complexity playing, I believe. Complexity versus Tyloo underway.
Yeah, first map going in favour of Cole, and Tyloo now looking to bounce back.
And that is an elimination game. We'll be losing one of them.
Well, that'll be the first team to be removed from the tournament, right? So that's
Correct.
a big one as well. So we've got the first team potentially going through, they've got the first team potentially going out. This is pretty tiring now for G2. They're starting to run out of gas here. Frozen in the charge.
Frozen not connecting the bullets necessary. Jax wins the body shot roulette. However, both CTs on long have been cut down to size. Looks like Lucky's going to sacrifice his weapon, throw it into the hands of Kenny. Just play the rest of the round with that Desert Eagle. Jackson's doing his best to survive. He wants to keep that shot in Kenny's hands, and it doesn't seem like he's familiar with the Krieg.
No, definitely not.
Is a discomfort seen in the spray.
Oh, look at this from Chris J. He's aware that gap could be a potential for Lucky. 3 versus 3. That kill from Kenny, I'm sorry, that has to come in for him. That's a freebie.
I don't think he's been doing the aimbots with the SG.
Did Chris spot him? Oh, apparently so. Voxic ready for it. A round looking successful.
Uh-oh. Oh, it's just perfect. A taste of revenge from the very same spot. That's where Rops killed Amanek time after time in the first half, and now a taste of his own medicine. Now suddenly a level stead.
Going together, trade it, win. That's a bit of a blunder there from Rops. Well, 2-on-2. G2 didn't invest into this round, remember. They brought a rifle from this previous round and had pistols with it. I think it was a Krieg and the M4. Now they have 2 of the T-scoped rifles. Voxic with Chris J. They have an AWP.
They're just going to walk into B, right? I mean, the way G2 are playing this, it's kind of all or nothing. Come A, we'll have a go.
They can smoke the doors, Molotov window, plant the bomb, and they'll have a massive advantage. There's no kits, no armor on Amanek, and they're playing together, but this doesn't look good.
Okay, by hearing that, that's enough of a sound cue for Amanek to dedicate his life.
10 seconds left. What else do you think is going to happen? Yeah, let's go.
But the bomb's not on the low HP player, and so a warning shot fired. And trying to close that gap ASAP. He wants to try and put some pressure on that planter. Voxic on site, very standard crossfire. This is why we say this is the harder sites to take. Or retake, I should say. They're considering a walk through the smoke. It's Chris J's job to hold it, and double peek. Now all onto Voxic. This is actually not impossible for G2. Lucky pre-aiming. He's ready for Amanek. It should just be one click of his mouse. It's 2. Too damn easy for Voxic, and Mouse Sports continue their spree. T-side Dust 2 seems to be theirs. Just the one blemish on an otherwise perfect scorecard.
Yeah.
13 now to 12 after an 11-4 half from the French.
It's 9-1 here in the second half. Mouse Sports will take the lead for the first time. 13 to 12. Money there for G2. Like we said, they're looking to get on that double orb setup. It's Kenny and Shoxy. Shoxy was hitting some great shots. In the first half, they had a double orb setup on the T side of Dust 2. This is where they wanted to go. It's taken a while to get there, but they finally got the buy they're looking for. Shoxy will get tagged but not deliver any damage himself. Towards the middle they go. Maybe with the information that Shoxy is low, he needs to get the hell out of there. Lucky to be alive, he'll actually fall back towards the B window.
Okay, that smoke's going to enable that. An interesting wall of smokes. That one was actually just an unlucky concoction. Smoke towards CT, a Molotov for the close corner to stop any CTs pushing through that close corner. Didn't quite work out, but here we go. Charging now towards the team players. It shots the tagged up player. Could come back to haunt him, still fragging though, and Amanek's there to babysit. Now 2 for 2. Amanek looking to keep hold of this site. They know he's there, he's already made a presence known. Robs dancing and finds the frag.
Melts through him with that Krieg. And once again...
Oh, it's the B site. It's such a toughie.
Yeah, and they've got kits, sure, but they have no real control of the situation. I'm not even sure they can justify going for this.
Not at the scoreline like this, surely.
Well, there's a kill available for Jackson lower B here. He should be able... Oh, he doesn't commit. Oh, no. There was a free.
This feels like such a risk. Kenny's trying to be a hero. Voxic takes that AWP away from him. In more ways than one. Likely going to scavenge that one away into the next round. Express delivery. This will be another for Mouse. 2 away from taking us to Vertigo.
Oh, if they get Jax, which is looking likely, they've got a pretty clear runner there as well. G2 have not stepped up their own dust to it at all. This is their pick. They had an 11-4 lead at half, and they just haven't performed here in the second. They're going to have to take another tactical timeout here. Surely they didn't have one left, their last one. So they've got, as you can see on the screens, around $4,000 per player on average. They have to buy here. There's no 2 ways about it. They cannot take an eco.
Breathe that second half in. Seems like there's plenty of Mouse Sports fans in the crowd as well. It's always still got that residual German fan base from, of course, the origins of the Mouse Sports name in Counter-Strike, iterations prior to that of CSGO. So 14, 10 to 1 in the second half.
What's the call here? No one purchasing anything yet. Are they taking the full eco?
Do you play for the overtime?
There's 8 seconds left. They haven't bought a thing.
Yeah, they're playing for
surely get a smoke for the mid door, something.
Well, just to guys the cross, keep them guessing. Yeah,
oh,
actually,
there's
wait.
the bite.
It's...
They why have they caught then?
What's happening?
Oh, you're taking a tactical timer. Don't buy off the freeze-time expires, please.
You had so much time.
Why would you do that?
And so FAMAS's and nades.
It's Shoxy just go, you know what? Screw it, we're going for it.
After struggling to do it with the double
with
orb.
3 seconds left on freeze-time, that's when you start buying?
Okay. Well, we're not going to continue to beat at that dead horse. Instead, let's see what they can do with it. Will it ride them to their 13th round?
It's going to take a miracle, this sort of setup. No kits, no orbs. FAMAS is out in threes. Chris J, long doors. He had a lot of success in this part of the map. This time, a little bit different. We have one player right on the other side of those long doors. Bit of damage inflicted by Lucky, not as much as he'd like though. Throws the incendiary to push them back on towards their side of middle. Jax does get the first though. That's going to be a 5-on-4, a much needed one.
Yeah, he was Molotov's out as well, so he was brave. Decided to stay a little longer in the flames to catch Chris J. Kerrigan preparing his lineup. But where's that bomb going? Does look like it's kind of committing with him. So the smoke towards CT. Kenny, what do you have in response? The smoke towards short. The flash is going to push into a bit of a less than ideal circumstance. Instead, he's got... Oh, Lucky! He had to do that. The 180 keeps them with a dream of the 13th. Just 3 remain now for Mouse Sports. 2 picks from Jackson Lucky respectively, but the round's not done. Voxic reminds us of that. Catches him towards CT with 30 seconds left. They start to group up towards B. If Rox can find a way in, we've got a chance. Amanek has an opportunity here to close this round out. To say no. 25 seconds remaining. The Molotov's there, the flashes are there, and Rops is filling the kill feed. It's not enough. Frozen and Rops, they've done it. Find a way in. Kenny has to contest. They have it crossed with 15 seconds and no smoke. The flash could be enough though. Kenny's doing the dance, looks to find 1, 2, and now just 1 man remains. 10 seconds. Can he get the bomb down? There's no way. They'll just double push it.
Yorker as well. You've got to push him. He'll get the bomb down here. He'll get maybe 1 no-scope, but there it is. G2 will find their second round of the second half. It's going to be 14-14. It took absolutely everything they had
with
there.
that last-minute buy, no less.
It actually works out. That's why I said they had to buy this one. You can't let them get match point, or map point, I should say. If you've got 4K per player, there's enough there to make this work. And now they're back into it. They keep 2 players out. They're recovering AWP. They've got an AK-47 as well. Can this be where they go?
I mean, that was courtesy of Jax finding that frag, and Lucky with his crazy 180, right? I mean, the round they've won on the CT side was a crazy 4 HP 1v1, and that's all we've seen from the G2 defense, at least successfully. Now, Sports perhaps looking to mix up the pace a little bit here. They are all starting to group up early, and that nade does not look shabby. Into the face of Frozen, gobbles it up for breakfast. More of a lunchtime treat.
Damn. Okay, execution looking very likely, Alex. This is when we'll see the wall of smoke towards the long area and try and nullify Kenny S's presence. He'll be positioned presumably on the A side. He is towards Goose right now. Incendiary in response. They can double pump as required, but Lucky, he'll be taken down once again. It's the trade though from Shoxy. 4-on-4 still, looking to deny map points. Kenny has to be tested. It's his kind of angle. There's players all around him.
Yeah, using that smoke here, an opportunity to find a gap, and the flash is good. He can't even escape into it from behind. Kerrigan strikes. Bomb will go in. Just Amanek and Shocks. This looks like 15. It looks impossible to find anything else.
And they've got no money again. The rounds they're winning, they're not convincing enough.
The Vertigo possibility.
The hype train.
It was nothing but a whisper in that first half.
In that first map.
Yeah, a mild reminder. Oh yeah, we might see Vertigo. Well, it took them a map and a half, but Mouse Sports have got the sleep from their eyes and remind us why they are considered a top 10 team in the world. It was so flaccid, so flat from them in the first, but G2 have been overwhelmed. And their CT side, it has its flaws, it has its holes.
Yeah, Mouse Sports are exploiting all of them. Well, there it is. G2 point 4-2 for Nail there. Shoxy managed to bring it back to the 4-on-4, but the A finished there. Kenny S, like I said, that's an angle you'd think he'd really excel in, but the execution was perfect. You can see how stifled he was on the A side. Smokes all around him, flashbangs as well. Jumping onto the site, he's getting pincered from long. Really couldn't hold on. As much as he tried, he couldn't find a single shot. That means the execution went brilliantly. If Kenny can't even fire a shot when he's holding a position like that, then you've done something very good indeed. So they'll buy up of what they can. MP9s for masses, M4s, 2 rounds in a row required for overtime. They can get it there. They're right back on track. Everything will reset. But at this point, it's Voxic opening things up. The long spawn works out for him. He'll take down Jax and Kerrigan. He's going to pounce on this opportunity.
He knows there's an early first blood. He wants to operate on it. The CTs are not ready for this. They're walking in. Mouse Sports just 4 frags away from taking us to Vertigo. Equalizing in this series. It's been turbulent and Voxic's not done there. He found the first, found the second. He's teaching us how to count at this point. 1, 2, and 3. Amanek and Lucky remain. Not done just yet. Shots from Roth into the toes of Amanek leave one man, just Lucky, and he's gone as well. Carrigan's the one to throw the final nail in the coffin. And what a T-side that is. 12-2 is the response to a 4-11 deficit in the first.
Great game. This is turning out to be one epic series here. We go on to Vertigo next. It looked like G2 had this one tied up. The first half was there. Shoxy was playing out of his mind. The calling was spectacular, but it all comes crashing down in the second half. They lost a pistol. We thought, okay, they'll come online eventually. They didn't get that double orb set up until round 10. And it really just was flat throughout, and Mousesports look absolutely fantastic. They really have come online from those earlier technical issues that seem to slow them right down earlier in this. Could happen on Vertigo. I have no idea.
That is an unknown entity. I mean, completely. We haven't seen that one. We didn't expect to see that one so early in the major, but Vertigo is our third map. That was Mousesports who chose it. That's a really good point you made as well. That's this team that looked so lost on Train, their map pick.